So is it really likely that there's a lot of raw vegans and 8 to 10 teners that are out there that get undercarved or do the diet wrong and end up going to KFC and McDonald's and stuff like that? Now, I don't know, I don't have clients and things like that. I don't have a forum or websites, and I don't really tell people how to do this or whatever, but I just don't think this is really likely. I think most people who are into this kind of know that they can go back to cook food if they like or if they want, and they're going to make that, a lot of people are going to make that choice anyway. But the idea that people are going to go to KFC or McDonald's because they get undercarved or because they don't eat enough fruit, it just sounds ridiculous. You know, it just makes the whole lifestyle seem ridiculous. Either it's so bad or so wrong or so like impossible that no one can do it, and they would go crazy and do something they'd never do before. I would imagine the majority of people coming into this lifestyle are vegan already, and many of them probably followed starch solution type diet, the McDougall diet already, so many are looking for something else, something new, and then they find this, and then 811 or raw food or whatever, and they try that out. But there's a kind of undercarved paranoia here that, like, if you get undercarved, you're just going to lose your mind and do things that you would never do before. So why would anyone come towards a path of health or a diet that's in line with health and end up going off the rails and going to KFC or McDonald's and stuff like that? It really doesn't make sense, but it's what a lot of people are saying, and a lot of people commenting on things. You know, if you do a video like I've done a few about there doesn't need to be a backup plan or whatever, and people say, oh yeah, but what about people that end up can't get enough fruit or whatever, go to McDonald's? Or I just don't know where in what world, in what reality is that happening? You know, really. And then people go, yeah, we need to stay vegan, so we need to get, you know, you need to have a backup plan so that people stay vegan. You know, I think if someone's going to go and eat non-vegan food, that's their issue. You know, that's they're not going to do it because they're undercarved, because they're not eating enough fruit. I don't see the mentality of someone that's like, well, it's either raw food or nothing, and if I can't do raw food, I'm going to eat junk food, complete junk. It doesn't make sense in my mind at all, and I think that you're crazy if you think that. KFC, McDonald's. I used to go to McDonald's like when I was not that long ago, to be honest, probably 4 or 5 years, 3-4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, I don't know. But I never went to KFC. KFC's like terrible. Terrible, really bad food. But yeah, but I want to talk about some of the people that maybe have left the lifestyle and went paleo or went to meat or went to whatever, and what happened to them and why that happened. And the only one I can really think of that's well known, I'm sure there's a few, there is a couple actually, but like Julita, brilliant, and so she was on 30 Bad, she did 8 to 10, she did videos about how it was the best thing and veganism was the best thing. She went to Woodstock, she interviewed like everyone at Woodstock, all the pioneers, she watched everyone, and she was a little chubby, you know. She wasn't fat or anything, but she was a little extra weight, and I think this was a big deal for her. So she started to restrict calories at one point, and I think this is basically how the story goes. I might be wrong about this. She started to restrict calories or reduce her calories from the kind of banana girl diet recommendations, 4,000 calories a day for a girl, or for like a 5-foot girl or whatever it is. And yeah, and she started losing weight and stuff, but she went on 30 Bad and she was talking about that and messaging people about reducing calories and stuff like that, and she got booted off. She got like booted off because of the question of calories, I think, and she got really badly attacked and hated, and that just pushed her more and more towards like this weird paleo lifestyle that she's doing now. She got attacked by all these vegans, you know. It wasn't really a raw food issue at this point. So I think her health was failing her because she was doing it completely wrong. But instead of the people involved trying to reach out to her and help her, she just continued to get attacked by people. And it wasn't about a raw food line. I don't think anyone's really, going to viciously attack anyone for going off the starches. But saying like vegan is the bigger picture. If you're trying to keep people vegan, then don't attack them when they have a different way of doing veganism, But I'm speaking about like raw food here, the raw food diet, raw food culture, whatever community, and I don't see the raw vegans going to KFC anytime soon. If they are doing that, it's because it's like someone who's on a sad diet that's just all of a sudden found 8-10-10 and hasn't went to any transitions or anything, just done it straight away. I don't know. Julieta's quite a cool person, actually. She seems alright. I met her and bumped into her twice in New York. She seems. So people are like, she looks terrible. She looks horrible. She just looks like another person. Do you know what I mean? Let's not blow it out of proportion. So, yeah, the elitism thing. Does that make people go away from veganism? I don't know. It probably. A friend of mine once said, maybe I've said this in another video, but he was making all these excuses for why he couldn't. He wanted to be like raw, like a fruitarian, and he made all these, gave me loads and loads of reasons why he couldn't do it, but he never said it was because of his own choice. He never just accepted it was his responsibility, that he just didn't want to do it or whatever. He wanted it to be like it was something else outside of him, outside of his control. And I was saying, well, I'm doing this, I'm living where you are, so what's the problem here? And he was like, Ronnie, you're really angry at me, because he never just accepted it. He never just said, you know what, it's my choice. He was looking for me to give him to support his decision to eat cooked food, and I didn't want to do that just to annoy him, because I knew what he was trying to do. He was looking for me to tell him to eat cooked food, and I wasn't going to do that, because there's no need for me to do that. He's going to do that anyway if he wants. And he was like, Ronnie, fruitarianism isn't an elite club. And I thought that was such an unusual comment. Of course it's not an elite club. No one wants to be part of it. What kind of elite club has this thing where like it seems like no one, even the people that are really into it, don't really want to be part of it, like 100% fruitarians or whatever, I don't know, raw food. Okay, so that's me babbled on for a while about that issue. What else to talk about? Nothing really, but raw vegan to KFC, it's not a usual pathway there. It's not, if everyone was doing the backup before the backup was advertised, do you know what I mean? People did the backup if they had to. It's not something that people can't work out. But I like to promote that you can do this, and you can find a way if you want. And I'm still on my own journey and working out. I still don't eat. I don't eat like really, really healthy, really that well. This is the thing. You can still give up the cooked carbohydrates. I'm really talking about. I'm at a stage where I've given up the cooked carbohydrates, so I don't eat like the rice, potatoes and all that, but it doesn't mean that nothing I eat isn't, hasn't went through a heating or a cooking process, like pasteurised, or like people say nuts, and then heat treatment of things, and then dried fruit, so there's all these things. But even that, it's like, to me that's my backup to help me stay away from cooked starches, so that's the way I look at it. But I still need to move on and kind of go towards more whole, fresh, ripe, eventually organic, maybe if I can find more organic, etc. So yeah, tell me what you think about that, and I'll see you later. Tell me if you went to KFC because you couldn't get enough fruit. Bye.